Hi everybody. So I did feel like doing a video after all. I don't even know where to begin. Um, so I want to talk about ancestral trauma. And this is multi-generational trauma. Where people wear masks, where people trauma bond, where people live in shame and guilt. They live behind a curtain of other people validating their ignoring the trauma that's going on, validating their pretending of what's going on. The black sheep of the family lots of times will come out from around that curtain and they'll be like, why, this and this is wrong with our family, and they get ostracized because then people have to do the work, or then they have to answer to, or they have to get triggered. There's tons of reasons. So in my family, when I was growing up, I was molested by my father, and he would do things like urinating on me before he molested me, and he molested my sisters as well. I had 3 sisters. We grew up. I never remembered the abuse, and till I was in my 20s, till I had my 4th child, and then I had been getting a lot of feeling memories with no picture, but then I actually got a picture, and I confronted him. My mom was going through childhood abuse memories herself, satanic abuse ones, where she was made to sacrifice a baby. She was very suicidal. It was her great grandma, a transgenerational satanic occult, and they would make her like pee in an urn, and then they would mix it like with baby's blood, and anyway, it was, and they would make her, drink it. These are things that I've read in her journal, and so there's all this trauma that comes to us. So when I was 29, and I confronted my father about the sexual abuse, and he disowned me. And 2 weeks later, my mother committed suicide. She left a long suicide note and said that, she was going to heaven to try and save baby somehow. This was when my drug use started. This was a lot for me to process. Over the years, I've had all my brothers and sisters die that I'm close to. I've had a son-in-law die. I've had a goddaughter die. A lot to addiction. A lot of healing I've had to go through. I've been in rehab, of course, twice. I am 5 months sober from going in for mostly alcohol. I was married 33 years. I got a divorce. I thought I was going to die. I had to pick myself up and be my own hero. So there's a lot of trauma there. Then that doesn't even touch the trauma that I put on my children. I have 5 kids and I have 16 grandkids. And my kids are all grown up. They're all very successful, no drug addicts. Like, they're all living authentically, masks off. They're healing, but they're choosing them. They're choosing to love and heal them, just as I've had to do. When my marriage ended in 2020, I really thought I was going to die. The healing journey that I've been afforded since then has transformed me mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And I'm still on this healing journey. And I met this man, and he's 14 years younger than me, but we've been together a little over a year, and we are in love. And he makes me happy. And we inspire each other to be our best selves, and we have to be very mindful to not make assumptions, to always come lovingly with our masks off, compassionately, listening to each other, filling each other's cup. And we've had some hard times. So there was an incident last fall between us. where there was a assault charge pressed. I have learned since then that we both made mistakes, and we both paid dearly, and we both learned big lessons. But there was a no contact order put between us, and he's been on probation, and he's been on the healing journey. And so, long story short, we have been, that happened last fall. We were apart for a couple of months. We got back together. I was using then, I was drinking. I had to go into rehab in March. I had to heal, and I had to learn to heal my inner child as well, because I had great resentments against my inner child for a lot of the decisions and the hard lessons I've learned and the losses I've taken throughout my life. So I went on that healing journey. That was so scary. I went on the healing journey with my kids. I didn't talk to them from like 2020, 21, 22. Last year we went on a healing journey. We came back together. We were so toxic and trauma bonded. We each had to go do our own healing. And so multitudes of things I've learned about ascension, about staying present, about knowing, taming the ego, about knowing that I have control only at how I respond to something, at always getting back up and showing my kids you always get back up. They don't have the best example from their father, and I need to show them that you don't ever give up, that you don't ever quit healing, that you take accountability. And one day you'll even get to the spot where you forgive yourself for what you did to your kids. That has been so hard on me. The resentment I hold towards myself for the way that I raised my kids. Even though I know that I did the best I could with what I knew at that time, I feel I should have left their father earlier than I did. But everything's in divine timing, right? So all of this brings me to a couple of weeks ago on the full moon. My boyfriend and I got into a big fight, and I broke up with him because he had used, and we are both addicts, and we both live in our sobriety. But he had used, and I had to set down a boundary. And he had not been too nice in the way he talked to me, and I had to set down a boundary. If you want to come at me, you come at me respectfully. And if you want to be with me, you take accountability. And we were apart for a week, and and I knew he was healing and running from childhood trauma, that he is coming up for him to be felt, because we are mirrors for each other, and we shine light on each other's shadow. So I put up my boundaries. We spent a week apart. He came to me. He took accountability. And I thought, if I'm a healer, if I'm trying to take people on the healing journey through the journey that I've been on, through trial and error, totally as a pioneer, then I need to not walk away from him. It's a pivotal point for him. Does he want to become somebody that I see him as, that I know he is, and embrace that light side? Or will he go back to the feelings of worthlessness because he's never had anybody love and believe in him? And so I love and believe in him, but I laid the boundaries down nonetheless. And he came to me with accountability, with amends, with apologies, with sincerity, humility. And so this is what happened. So we got some mushrooms, and we decided to do some to kind of open us up. I know that they are fungi. They hold knowledge of all time. Whoops, my glasses just dropped. And so we did them, and this is not the first time. But I have to tell you about this to tell this story, and I'm not promoting anything at all, okay? I'm just sharing my experience. And so we um, we got them and took them, and I experienced things that I've never experienced before. I was literally tapping into people's energy. My sister, she died when she was 34. I think I was maybe 40 when she died. She had a seizure and broke her neck. She was the only other one that really remembered the abuse from my dad. And so her and I were very close. So she comes to me, I feel her. I think I have to keep going to the bathroom, and I can't, and I'm feeling trauma over that. And I'm feeling her heart, and I feel the heaviness in her heart, the guilt and shame from the abuse, and the pain from my mother's suicide, and I feel her heart, and I'm literally feeling it and crying, and I'm alchemizing that for her. And it comes to me like, what do you take with you when you die? Not your living room couch, but you take your memories, your experiences, your feelings. And this trauma I felt crossed with her, and now I was feeling it and alchemizing it in a physical body for about an hour. And then I went to my mom, and I felt her heart, and I felt her trauma over urinating. I felt, again, I couldn't go to the bathroom. Like, I was right in the middle of holding her heart and alchemizing and crying and transmuting that pain into love, validating her existence, her experience while she was here on earth, feeling it, feeling her heart. And then I stepped into feeling my boyfriend's heart, and I was just holding him. And, you know, generally, lots of times we'll have like one mentor in life. My grandma, older women too, my aunts, like several people that I knew loved me unconditionally, loved me, wanted what was best for me, inspired the direction of my life. And I felt my boyfriend's heart, and there was no one. I looked at him and I was like, you never had anyone just love you for being you? I was crying so bad. I looked at him and I said, how are you still alive? How are you still alive and thriving with this much unlove inside yourself, towards yourself, and from other people? I don't know how he's still alive. And I transmuted and transmuted and healed what I could and told him how special he was. I see him. That night, I just kept saying, I'm okay, I'm okay. Like, I literally went dimensions. Like, I don't know everything that happened, but I do know that I transmuted, I alchemized darkness the whole night. And I know that I've been sleeping nonstop ever since then. And I know that I jumped timelines, and so did my boyfriend. And I know that we're on this trajectory of healing. He is so grateful and inspired by my belief in him and what I did for him. And I am so honored that I get to love him. And I felt like I did massive multi-generational healing that night. And I've been sleeping a lot since. But let me tell you, then this week I had a lot of uncertainties because I was applying for a job, and we had court over this charge that was last fall. And he has stepped up all the way. He does not deserve more fines, jail time, like anything. He went around that mulberry bush. He learned his lesson. We both learned our lessons. We both are very aware and in this now moment of the choices that we're making. And so Tuesday morning came, and I got my job, and now I can, create content and work and get us further along. And he has gotten Employee of the Month the last couple of months, and he's getting ready for a promotion. He's doing great. And we went to court, and they dropped everything. It was amazing. And today he went to his probation, and he said, finish up your classes. You're getting off early release in October. You're done. Don't need anything else from you. I know where you're going. I love the road you're going down. So we just got this freedom, this liberation, this new level, next level of commitment, of beauty, of weight lifted off our shoulders, of jumping timelines, of stepping into the next biggest version of ourselves. Believe me, we put in a lot of work. But I know that the ancestral healing has so much to do with this. And I do want to say before I get off of here, one generation cannot do all the ancestral healing. If it weren't for my strong daughters and what they're doing, they're locking it in. They're like locking it in. They're supporting me. They're the most wonderful, strong women in the world. My Aunt Carol, I talked to her about all this. My mom's sister knows all this family history. Such a strong, beautiful woman. I'm grateful in this now moment for the love I have, for the overflowing support, for the ability to serve God at the highest level possible, and for the ability to help anybody out there that is going through this. If my perspective can help you, even just one person, then I'm really grateful that I shared it. And life is so miraculous. Life is so creative. It's so magnificent. I love you, everyone. Have a good day.